What jobs to do in the garden in November? Welcome to Gardening with Ben, and in this video I'm going to share with you all the jobs which you need to be doing this month to keep those gardens and allotments in check, ready for next year. Job to do is clear away old crops. Get them all cleared out, put on your compost heap and tidied away. You don't want any diseases spreading around, so clear out the old crops and get your allotment looking spick and span ready for next year. Next up is add well rotted manure to your beds. Now is the perfect time to add the food and nutrition back into the plot and let it digest into the ground, ready for next year's growing. Leave it on the top and then dig it in come springtime, ready for it to work its magic and grow some great crops for you for next year. If you're like me, you need to tidy your paths up. My paths are always the worst part of the plot. I pull out the weeds and just pile them on the paths, and yeah, get them all nice and tidy. If you've got mulch on your beds or wood chip, replace it, put some fresh stuff down, have a look around. A lot of places give away wood chip for free, so get your paths sorted, get them all tidied and ready for next year. Repair raised beds. Now my beds often collapse after all the work that I've been doing, the digging, and yeah, check them all out, screw them back together, give them a lick of paint so that they last another year and don't rot down, and just make them look better for next year. Store away your canes and supports. Now if you're like me and you've got runner beans and you've had canes up and stuff like that, put them away in your shed so that they don't deteriorate over the winter and they'll last another year. Check your water butts for blockages or leaves in them and clean them out, even empty them and start afresh. Give them a good clean out, start afresh. They'll soon fill back up with all the rain that we've been getting, and get them all ready for storing that water throughout the winter period, ready for next year's allotment. Clean your greenhouses and your polytunnels. Now your greenhouses and your polytunnels store a lot of diseases, especially if you've had issues with your tomatoes like that. Give them a good clean, scrub them down, get some disinfectant, wash the skins down and give them a good washing down, ready for next year. You don't want those diseases hibernating and then re-emerging come springtime, so get them all washed, get them all cleaned and get them in ship shape, ready for next year's growing. Leaves for leaf mulch. All the trees are dropping the leaves now, and leaves are like allotment gold. Basically it's great for feeding the ground and the plants, so pile them up, put them in a compost heap, let them rot down and then dig them into the ground next year, and it will add nutrition and food to feed your plants next year. All the rest of your crops, now all the crops will be dying off now, so go around, harvest all your like pumpkins or your courgettes or your beetroot, lettuce, anything that's left in the ground. Harvest it and collect what you need before clearing it down for winter. Collect your herbs and prepare them. Your herbs will start to die off during the cold spells, so collect them, store them, dry them up and use them in your herb racks and add that extra spice to your food. Draw a plan for next year. Now is the perfect time to have a look at your plot, think about what you're going to be growing next year, draw a plan of it. Write down where you're going to be growing stuff and where you're going to be planting stuff. Have a look in seed catalogues of what seeds you want to grow next year. Have a look around, try something new and get that plan made, ready for growing a fantastic abundance of crops next year. Clean your tools. Now is the perfect time to give them a good scrub down. Oil them if you've got any machinery, and especially your secateurs, give them a good clean down and store them away if you're not using them throughout the winter period, ready for next year's hard labour. Prune your apple trees and your pear trees once they are dormant. They'll start to drop the leaves, they'll start to go dormant, so if they need a prune, give them a good prune. Just your apples and your pears. Don't prune your plums at this time of year as it can cause silverleaf and affect the plant. So yeah, just your apples and your pears. Give them a good shape up, make sure that there's no branches crossing one another and that air can circulate around the tree, and that'll be all set, ready for next year's crop. Obviously sometimes don't over prune them because that can stress the tree out and it might not fruit as well next year, So it's up to you. If it needs a good prune, do it, but if not, just stick and try and do as little as possible on the pruning side of it. So that are all the jobs what can be done in the allotment in November. I hope you found that useful. Make sure you share it to any allotment friends and gardening friends. Give us a follow to stay up to date with all our tips and advice. Until next time everyone, remember, keep smiling, keep shining and keep gardening with Ben everyone.